In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a pleasure dome erect, and once he'd finished, he recorded an internet show called Is It? What are we looking at today, Sean?
Today, Dan, another one suggested in the comments.
Okay, well, I've got to say, these haven't been going particularly well.
The ones that people suggest?
Yeah.
Yeah, they suggest a lot of shit.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Yeah.
But still, you know, it's nice to have a look sometimes.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Well, let's not darken and dampen this review with...
No, it's dark and damp enough.
And not in a good way.
Not in a good way.
Okay.
No. Right.
So, let's...
Today,
let's
Dan,
begin. Yeah.
we are looking at something from Tokyo Dawn Records.
Wow.
Known as TDR.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, TDR do some fabulous plugins, and some of them are free. And it's definitely worth going to look at their page, because I use the TDR Nova on a regular basis.
Yeah.
It's my dynamic EQ when I'm mastering a lot of the time. They do some great stuff, so go and check out TDR. This time we are looking at the TDR Infrasonic.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Looks pretty sexy.
It does look pretty sexy. It's pretty interesting in that it's basically a mastering grade, low-end EQ. Now, I know we looked at the Kush Clariphonic not long ago.
We did, yeah.
And you were a bit upset that it was an EQ that was only EQing a bit of the frequency band.
Yeah.
This is the opposite.
The other end.
This is the other end.
Okay, so
Not
it's
Mayflower.
strictly for looking after your bottom end, I'm suggesting.
Strictly for looking after your bottom down.
Yes.
Something we all need as we get older.
Well, yeah, speak for yourself.
I was speaking for you. You blocked the toilet. Anyway. What is this? Well, basically, it's a low-end EQ that allows you to apply a big sort of low-cut or high-pass filter, which you can adjust the slope. So you can see the frequency you set.
Sorry, you're going to have to start again.
Why?
Just... You what?
You can adjust the frequency of where the low cut or the high pass is there.
Yeah.
And then you adjust the mix of it. You can also set the slope of it. So the angle.
But one plugin to do that?
Okay. But this is just one part of it.
Okay.
So first of all, you tame the bass that is in your mix.
Yeah.
With that. So you set your high pass, whatever. And then you set the slope. So, and that's really important in mastering. The slope can ruin a mix. If you do a slope that is like straight down like that, it sounds really unnatural. Frequency's missing. You need to do a nice gentle slope a lot of the time. But if you want to tighten the bottom end, you might slice it off because it's just a bit rumbly. The mix isn't great, maybe. So you use that, get rid of it, roll it off.
Yeah.
Then you apply the other tricks that this does. So basically it generates subharmonics an octave below the input, which you then mix in.
Right.
So this is showing you here.
Yeah.
That's where the original signal is cut off there. Yeah. This is the subharmonic generator, which is bringing in.
Yeah.
That.
So it's bringing in the frequencies that you've removed.
Yes, but it's bringing them in a way that should sound tighter and more focused.
Okay.
It has some interesting little things. So if you click there, you get a dyna. It calls it a dyna bump or dyne bump. It's a dynamic bump. So basically, this becomes like a dynamic filter. So you get a little bit of a bump there at the cutoff point. You could choose between minimum phase or mixed phase that this works in. So minimum phase is low latency.
Yeah.
But you get a bit of phase distortion. If you work in mixed phase, there's more latency, but the phase distortion is linear, which is cleaner, better for mastering. There's no. This is kind of weird. So if you go and get a demo of this, it basically works forever. Okay. The difference is you can't recall it.
Okay.
So every time you fire it up, it's like back to zero kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I quite like that.
Yeah, good idea.
It's sort of a good idea.
Yeah, but I mean, it's okay. I mean, I'll ask you. Is I don't know. It kind of gets a little ahead of us. Have you got more of this bottom end fuckery to discuss?
Not bottom end fuckery. Not really. Other than to say There's not loads of tools that do this well.
Yeah.
This does really work well.
Yeah, okay.
It does some amazing stuff. However, I can see where you're going. It's like,
Yeah.
And you know what? If this was put out by a certain other plug-in manufacturer, and I was to tell you when you asked me what the price was, that it was $200, I'd be with you.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, just give me a regular, high pass.
Yeah.
But it's $30.
Okay.
It's $30.
So at some point you're going to get a mix, or you're going to have something going on where you think, I know what's going to fucking sort this out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a very cool thing.
Okay.
If this was any more than $30, I think you'd have to think very hard about it.
Yeah.
But for that kind of money, it's worth going to get it. When the problem arises, go and get it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, it's genuinely a tool for your box.
It is literally one of those.
Yeah.
It's not something you're going to use all the time, but every now and again, I think if you're mastering, it's going to be something you do pull out every now and again.
Okay.
Maybe in production, it's the kind of thing you can fix yourself during the mix.
Yeah.
So maybe more of a mastering thing.
Yeah. Well, converted then, perhaps, in that case.
Yeah.
I wonder if it might do some fancy stuff that it's not supposed to do as well, perhaps,
You could certainly mess around with it. Yeah, you might get some really interesting stuff out of it. I mean, the other thing we don't often talk about is that we always sort of talk about the two sides of production being, well, you're either mixing and doing production or you're mastering.
Yeah.
There's podcasting.
Yes.
There's film audio.
Yeah.
There's game audio.
Yeah.
There's so many things where you've got stems to deal with.
Yeah.
Stem mixing is such a big thing now that you get sent stems all the time for things.
Yeah.
And dealing with stems, these kind of tools are great.
Yeah. Okay, well, that brings us to the TDR Infrasonic. Is it shit, Sean?
No, I don't think it is at all. I think it does one job, it does it really well, and at that price you can't argue.
Wonderful. Well, succinct and to the point.
Someone will argue.
Yes, of course they will.
Because that's YouTube comments.
Yes, wonderful stuff. Well, please do argue with us. Let us know. But also like the video.
That would be nice if you did that. Also, if you could subscribe to the channel, that really helps.
Yep.
We have Instagram, which is Studio Life 101.
And we have, what else do we have?
What else do we have? We have a Patreon. You can become a member of the channel now, which gives you early access to videos.
Yep.
There's a merch store and a whole bunch of other stuff.
It's just down there. So go and have a look, and we'll catch you next time. Sayonara.
Later.